I mean, Lisa and I are literally doing the same exact thing at the same time in this point. Like the other day we had this thing and we were like, okay, let's flip a coin. Who's going to get married first? Okay, let's flip a coin. Like we always play games like that.
Who won that coin toss? Is that what we think is going to happen?
I mean, I
I
don't know. I
hope so.
just
I
know.
hope so.
I mean, I don't know. I just won the coin toss.
I want to gab. All right, today we are gabbing with Larsa Pippen from the Real Housewives of Miami, which returns for its sixth season on Wednesday, November 1st at 9 p.m. Larsa, I'm so happy to be talking to you. How are you?
I'm so happy to be talking to you too. I'm great.
Good. Are you ready for it to be back? Like what's the mentality when you're about to go into a new season airing?
I feel like it was so much fun shooting this year, and I just can't wait to see it all unfold, where I can watch it.
Hmm. And you're back on Bravo too, which is exciting. I feel like that's validation of just like how much the show has hit the past two seasons. Do you feel that same way?
I mean, I'm super excited it's on Bravo. I feel like our show is amazing. We have such great content. I feel like the girls are, really cool, and we all have our different storylines. And so I do feel like it's Bravo worthy.
I completely agree. And I also like I can't believe it's already the third season of it being back because it's like I simultaneously I can't remember what life was like before Miami was back, but also like time flies. How are you feeling three seasons into the quote unquote reboot of Miami?
I feel like the years are just flying by. I just remember doing the first season back and being super excited about that. And now I feel like we're in the swing of things. So like it's just been fun for me.
And I also feel like, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like I'm sensing like a greater level of comfort from you now that we're three seasons back in, now that you kind of like settled into the show, I think. And I just feel like you seem much more just like, I don't know, like, is that accurate to say that you're more comfortable
Yeah.
three seasons in?
No, I totally feel more comfortable three seasons in since we've been back. It's just been fun for me, and it probably has a lot to do with where I am in my life right now. I feel like I'm in such a better place. I have a great boyfriend. My kids are thriving. I feel like I'm working and I'm doing all the things that I love doing. And so, what they say, like if you love what you do, then it's not necessarily work. And so I just feel like that's just, just happy in my life right now.
I'm so happy to hear that. And I was about to say, you just seem so extremely happy with Marcus. Like you guys just seem so, it just seems like it works so well. What makes your relationship work so well? Now that you guys have again settled into the relationship.
I think it's because probably because we were like such good friends beforehand. And
Yeah.
I think when you're like friends before and it turns into more, I think we already know each other. We already know what we like, what we don't like about each other. So you already know what you signed up for, like from the very beginning. And so for us, it's been amazing.
Hmm. How is it with the kids too? Is everyone just like getting along really well and it just like it's a good family situation?
Yeah, it's actually pretty fun at our house.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like we talk basketball all day, we talk business, we love the same things, we like the same kind of food. So I definitely feel like he fits in our family like effortlessly.
That's so nice to hear. And I feel like though at the beginning of your relationships, I feel like you tend to play it coy. I feel like you don't like to confirm it until like what's sort of behind that for you? Just is it to not get ahead of yourself? Like what is it behind saying that you're just friends for a while? I guess you were friends before, but
I think dating in 2023 is not that easy. Like I tell my
yeah.
friends this, I'm like, it's so hard to meet someone that you vibe with and connect with on all different levels. And I feel like at this point in my life, like I need someone that is smart, is fun, is business savvy, likes the same things I like. And so I feel like he just fits all those, he fits in all those boxes for me. So it just
Hmm.
works.
Hmm. And it also seems from the premiere, you and Marcus and then Lisa and her man seem to like get along really well as a foursome, and it seems like it works so well and he fits in with your friends as well. Has it been fun to sort of both been in a similar stage of a relationship together where you're sort of like kind of feeling out these new men in these men in your life and kind of dating at the same time?
I mean, Lisa and I are literally doing the same exact thing at the same time in this point. Like the other day we had this thing and we were like, okay, let's flip a coin. Who's going to get married first? Okay, let's flip a coin. Like we always play games like that. And I feel like it's because we're both in such a great place in our relationship and we both started dating our guys about the same time. So it was like Marcus and Jody had each other while we were filming. So it wasn't like Marcus was the new guy on the show. It was kind of like
Right.
he and Jody were both the newbies on the show.
they could commiserate together a little bit.
Yeah, totally. Yes.
Who won that coin toss? Is that what we think is going to happen?
I mean, I don't
I
know. I
hope so.
just
I
know.
hope so.
I mean, I don't know. I just won the coin toss.
Right. In the press release for the season, though, Larsa, it says, to the dismay of some in the group, these two lovebirds, referring to you and Marcus, spend every moment they can together. Are there certain women in this friend group that start to have an issue with him always being around, or your relationship?
I feel like Kiki kind of feels like she has been replaced because, when I was single, we would hang out more, we would go out more. But I feel like now that I'm in a relationship, I feel like I'm more like, I'm always with my boyfriend. So I'll invite her to things all the time, but it's kind of like a lot of couple things. And so if anyone would probably complain, it would probably be Kiki because she feels like I should make more time for her, like one-on-one time for her. And I've been doing my best to do that.
Have you guys talked that out, or is that something we'll see this season?
I feel like you'll see it this season.
Mm-hmm. I feel like another unexpected thing from the trailer was Kiki and Lisa having an argument. It seems like on the cast trip. Was that shocking to you too?
Yes, because I feel like both Lisa and Kiki are super chill.
Yeah,
Like I've
same.
never seen Lisa upset like that, and I've never seen Kiki upset like that. So it's not, they're both not really fighters, or they don't like to
Yeah.
argue. So it may have been that bad tequila.
But also, like, you three, I feel like are all really good friends with one another. So it must be kind of hard to see two of your good friends like that have an argument like that.
No, it's the worst because I felt like I was in a bad position either way. Like if I defended one friend, the other one would get upset. If I defended, Kiki, Lisa would be upset. So it was kind of a hard position for me to be in.
Right. Totally. I'm sure. So going into the season, Larsa, like Guerdy said at some event that she thought that you were the quote unquote fakest housewife. And that's something that obviously upset you, as it probably should. And during the premiere, you expressed that, you confront her about it. And you talk it out, but it's sort of obvious that something else is going on with Guerdy at that time. And obviously us as viewers are privy to what's going on with her health. But in the moment, none of you guys have any idea that that's happening yet. What was going through your mind in that moment where Guerdy was like, I want you to be there for me. I want you to be there for me, but you're not really sure what she's referring to.
I mean, a lot of things she said that I don't really know what she's talking about. So I don't know. I feel like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's one of those things I didn't understand then. I still don't understand. So
And
I feel like I've always been there for all of my friends. I support all my friends. I'm there for them. I contribute any way, that I can. So I don't know if she said I was the fakest or, I don't know what her issues are, but I don't have any issues with her. I don't, I've never had issues with her.
Mm-hmm. And it is one thing I do love about your cast in general is that whenever something big is happening in any of your lives, whether it's Lisa's divorce last year, all the stuff with Alexia the year before, this year, I'm guessing with Guerdy's cancer diagnosis, I'm guessing that everyone sort of rallies around her. What are we going to see in terms of that this year, and just sort of the group coming together for her sake in those tough moments?
I feel like we always rally. We always do what's best, and I feel like we have these small arguments that really don't make a difference in the realm of your health or in real life, So I think we're always able to like come back to like reality and be like, listen, our argument really isn't worth it. And we always make up at the end of the day. I feel like it's just like sisters. We spend a lot of time together and you're not always going to get along with your sisters.
Right.
So we do argue at times, but at the end of the day, I feel like we're all such good friends and we're in different places in our lives also. And I try to be mindful of that because even like with Lisa, when she was going through, her divorce, and I don't think if she wasn't going through her divorce, I don't think she would have gotten into a fight with Kiki. I think it was just she was in the mind frame of, constantly she was fighting for her house, fighting, lawyers all day. So I feel like she was in that mindset. So I always try to tell myself to be mindful of like what my friends are going through when, I'm arguing with them. Like, what could be going on with you because you're not like this?
Totally. It's almost like it's simultaneously like when something bigger is going on, it simultaneously puts everything into perspective for you guys, but it's also like it informs the more emotional reactions to certain petty things.
Totally. Yeah. Everything gets magnified when you're under a lot of pressure.
Yeah. So with the Guerdy stuff, it seems like at some point, again, this is just judging from the trailer, that you guys do have some sort of argument at some point. Do you guys like circle back around to the problems that you have with one another and like try to hash it out at some point in this season?
Like I said, I've never had, problems with Gertie. I don't know where it comes from, where it stems from. No idea.
Do you think it's her closest to Nicole? Because you guys have had issues
I
over the
don't know
years?
because Nicole, no, because Nicole and I couldn't be closer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we've been spending time together. We're like great. And even in the beginning, when I didn't know Nicole, had I like spent time with her one on one, I do like her. I think that her and I would have been friends from day one. But under the circumstances, all the stuff that Marisol said, I kind of like, we both had different ideas of each other. But at the end of the day, Nicole and I are friends. Like we really didn't have
That,
any issues.
that's good to hear. Because I mean, it got intense last year. It did.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm glad that we're moving on up. And you and Julia also seem to be in a really great place at this
Yeah.
point. Like, and again, you guys didn't always like, you didn't mesh right away, but I feel like it was never anything super serious between you two. So it's nice to see that you two are in a good place with one another. You and Adriana, where does that stand right now, or
We're
going into the
good.
season? Yeah,
No, I think we're good. We're in a good place. I was really excited to, go to Mexico City and support her and, just ride the wave with her.
that's good. Do you think that, or I guess you probably know, does Alexia's truce with Adriana, does that hold up, or does that get complicated?
Does what?
Alexia and Adriana, they came to a truce in this premiere where they kind of agree to move forward together. Does that last?
I mean, with those girls, it's kind of like it's hot and cold.
They're
It's a hot
yeah
and cold situation.
they had the sister dynamic. They had the sister
They
dynamic
definitely
down
do.
pat.
They get along at times and they want to kill each other at times.
hmm With Alexia, I mean, she's another one of your friends, and it seems like there's something happening with her and Todd this year it's in the premiere. It's kind of like a little cryptic about what's going on with them. What can you kind of tease as to what's to come there? Is it a really big deal? Is it something within their relationship? What's happening there?
I mean, I guess you'll just have to wait and see. I don't know. I don't know. I don't really know
Okay.
what's going on with her and her relationship, but I feel like they're in a good place. They were just in LA and we were going to get together with them. I feel like they're in a good place.
Okay, that's good to hear.
Yeah.
Um, and it seems like, as Alexia and Adriana sort of try to move forward together, with Marisol, it's kind of up in the air. And Marisol's a really good friend of yours. What do you make of that whole situation? And sort of like, is there kind of a chance for Marisol and Adriana to patch it up and work it out?
I think so. I think so. I think when you're in the heat of the moment, you say things you don't mean. I think at the end of the day, like we say things we don't mean when we're upset or when you feel like you're cornered. But they have such a long history together that I think
hmm
ultimately, like if they both want to work on their relationship, I don't think it would take much effort for them to circle back and, spend
Good.
quality time together because I feel like I said, I feel like when people are going through things, you see a different version of them. And when they're happy, you see a different version of them. And so I feel like Adriana sometimes when she goes through her situations and her hardships, sometimes she takes it out on her friends.
Sure. Yeah, sure. Um, Larsa, it's so funny because whenever I think about like the reboot of Miami and sort of what some of the memorable moments that have come out of it, one of the things I always come back to is you saying "Let's get it poppin'," and that has sort of become one of your signature like one-liner phrases that like gets thrown around a lot on social media. Is that what people say to you a lot? Like, is that one of the things that people quote to you?
Yeah, I think so. I've heard that a lot. Yeah.
Are there any others that sort of get mentioned a lot with you or that moments that
Um,
people bring up?
well, I feel like they call me the larcenist a lot. I hear that a lot too.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
I don't start the fire, but if the fire finds me, then I have no choice but to like, burn down the house.
And that's why I love you. I have so much respect for that. And even in this premiere, I really like there's this funny moment where like some of the women are talking and then you're with Marcus and you're just like, let's go see what Guerdy's talking about. And then you don't even like mince words. You're just like, what's going on? Like why'd you say that? And I love that you just like confront it head on, and not everyone does that.
Well, I just feel like for me, like my personality, I just like clarity. And if we're not getting along, I just want to understand why so I can fix it, or I can understand why we have issues. I'm just more of like that transparent friend. Like if you want to be my friend and you're mad at me, tell me what I did. You know,
100%. That's very
I don't want to be in the same room and be on like this phony, friendship type vibe. I don't like that.
you're not a beat around the bush kind of person.
No.
Yeah, exactly. Let's address it head on. A couple more things before we sign off. Are you allowed to talk about the Traitors at all, or is that not, or are we not confirming that?
No,
Okay.
yeah, I was on the
Yeah.
Traitors.
Okay. You were on the Traitors. What was that experience like? Obviously, you can't get into specifics, but what was your experience like on season 2 of the Traitors overall?
I had so much fun. We did things that I would have never ever done in my life. Like the physical aspect of it was so different than what I'm used to doing. I just had a great time. It was just like being in the same house and with all these people that are all, different. It was really fun. I had a really great time.
Who can you say one person that you bonded with, or like was maybe surprised by?
I feel like I bonded with a lot of people in the castle. There were so many cool people, and I feel like our stories are very similar. Obviously, the other housewives like Tamra, Phaedra, Sheree, I had so much fun with them. MJ from Shaws of Sunset, Max from Dancing with the Stars, Johnny Bananas. Just, it was fun for me. I had a great time.
It's a stacked cast. That's a good cast. That's a fun
It
group of
was
people.
so much fun. Yeah, we had a great time.
Mm-hmm. And then lastly, there's Bethenny Frankel posted a picture of a big group dinner that you were at. What was that dinner for? What were what happened at that dinner? That because a lot of people were intrigued by the group of women that were there.
I was invited by my iHeart person. So I went because I have a podcast with iHeart, and it was a lot of iHeart people that had podcasts. That's kind of why I went. I had a great time. It was super fun. I'd never really met Bethenny in person, so that was my first time meeting her. And I know she's got issues with Bravo. I don't personally have any issues with Bravo. We didn't have one, a conversation like that. I feel like the conversations I had are basically with the people that I knew that have podcasts also, and it was basically upbeat, optimistic, and great conversations about our podcast.
That's really good to hear, because I think that
Yeah.
her just posting that photo sparked a lot of speculation. So it's good to hear
I
that it
know.
wasn't like kind of about that whole situation.
No, for me, I feel like I have had a great experience with Bravo. I've had a great experience with my production company. If I wasn't happy, I wouldn't come back.
Exactly.
And if I had issues, you know how my personality is, I would address them. Like I'm not one of those people that shies away from, my feelings.
Totally. Also, Larsa, we're coming up on Bravocon. Are you excited for it? Did you have? I'm assuming you had fun last year at it, but what are you looking forward to at Bravocon in Vegas now?
I am super excited about Bravocon. I can't wait to see all the girls from the different franchises and their dresses and just the energy. And I feel like we have so much planned. So it's going to be so much fun to just party with all these girls, hang out, catch up. And I'm excited that Marcus is coming with me
Good.
and is going to be able to hang out with my friends and their husbands.
Love it. So much fun. I hope to see you there. And everybody tune into the season 6 premiere of Real Housewives of Miami on November 1st. Thanks, Larsa. This is so much fun.
Thank you. Bye.
Yeah. I want to gab.